Hey, it's Mike. I am back, and I have my hoodie, Agora hoodie, and we're gonna get going. Let's see what do we got. We got robot number 6. Hey, how you doing? Robot number 6, Ayatollah, Corolla. Hey, Eliana. Good to see you, my moderator. Wait, Jai Ho, Agora hoodie. Vande Hum, Vande Hum. What was that? Say no to cults. Yes, say no to cults. We got good morning, good afternoon. Yes, everybody. Welcome back. And we got Magical Mystery Story. And I'm going to try to get to some Krishna book. We get a little Krishna book today. I hope we can do that. And who else is here? We got Eliana with all the prayers. I like you're just all the prayers going on. Queen of Karma gets a prayer. Queen of Karma gets a prayer, and Fake Human Swami. Oh, Fake Human became a Swami. It's like Fake Swami, Fake Human Swami. Oh, that's amazing. We got we got El Mariachi. El Mariachi, Maharaj, Nietzsche. Man, that's too funny. I forgot about Nacho Libre. I forgot about him. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Everywhere, like, share, and subscribe. For educational purposes, absolutely, and training. For training and educational quality assurance purposes. And Weird Planet. I hope you get your name back, because I don't know what you were like 6-7 something. Okay, and hey, we got Contentment John. I'm glad to see you back, man. I'm glad you're back. I hope you're content. And say no to cults. Yeah, absolutely, buddy. And we got Jenna Morton. Oh, my computer is. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. And who's got no? I got no audio. You can't hear me. You can hear me, absolutely. I know you can hear me, right? I'm showing full audio. Are you telling me there's no audio? You say, oh, no audio. We'll get through this together. Say no to codes. Okay. All right. So I got a lot to get to. I want to get right to the opening. Be back. I hope you can hear me. I'm showing everything's working. So let's try this. Make sure everything's good. Here we go, everybody.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. So you can hear me. Everything's good. Everything's fine. Everybody can hear you. I hear you. Okay. And he's a troll. Who? Contentment John is a troll. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He Contentment John is a holier than thou troll Hare Krishna fanatic coming here with his BS. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he might be. I don't know. Hey, Paz, how you doing? Good to see you here. Great, man. You know, it's always good when you're here because um, the guy from France was a sad story, man. Yeah, I know. I know, man. I know. Hey, I'm gonna start off with something. Um, it's it's something that from a couple days ago. It was published on the ISKCON pod, this pod page. Um, yeah, I think John is opening up to listening. I think he keeps coming back. I mean, you know, if he keeps coming back. So that's one thing. You know, I don't know what to say. He keeps coming back. So, and kind of hit home. It kind of hits home for some reason. Yeah, it kind of hits home for all of us. I guess. Pause. I mean, there's something about it that I think all of us uh, can can relate to. I really do. I think there's something about these stories that all of us can relate to, and so yeah, I can understand how it hits home for a lot of people. So I wanted to start off with this story that this guy wrote in, and it was on this web page, and he says, "My name is Veda. I am a husband and a father. I live in the U.S. and I served as president of ISKCON Temple in Atlanta for 15 years. I'm also a teacher of Krishna consciousness with many U.S. students who attend college or are working professionals." So you go, well, he's a husband, a father, and he lives in the U.S. He served as president of the ISKCON Temple for 15 years. He was a temple president. And he teaches Krishna consciousness with many U.S. students who attend college or are working professionals. So he's another one of these, I don't know, Darth Vader. Yeah, he's yeah, he's Darth Vader, absolutely. So he says, okay, let's now get this, because this is a serious story. I mean, um, and it's almost unbelievable, but it is believable. But it's still it's horrible. But I mean, so he says, I grew up in the Gurukula of Mayapur. So right there, you already know. Right there, it's not going to be no happy story. Right there, I grew up in the Gurukula of Mayapur. During my time in Mayapur, approximately 200 children passed through the Gurukula. To my knowledge, there are not many who are still actively connected to ISKCON. Most of them now just use Karmi names. It is for these lost children that I write this letter. These are not lost children. These are children that miraculously got their lives together. They got their lives together, and they're happy being normal people. He says, I also write because recently, and then he doesn't give the name. He doesn't give the name. He just says, recently, XXX, a brave young woman in Mayapur, broke her silence on sexual abuse by Bhakti Vidya Purna Swami. I feel compelled to add my testimony to hers. Now remember, he said he was a temple president in Atlanta for 15 years. Okay, he says, majority in ISKCON believe that no child filed complaints of sexual abuse by Bhaktivedanta Purna Swami. It's not true. I know 6 children who were sexually abused by Bhaktivedanta Purna Swami. Back in 1998, a report was investigated into the sexual abuse of a Gurukula child named XXX. And they don't want to name names, and I understand that victims' names can be withheld. I'm not. That's okay. That testimony was debunked and silenced. The boy was threatened, defamed, and forced to flee Mayapur for his physical integrity. I'll be the second guy to talk. How I reached Mayapur. Reached Mayapur in 1983 at the age of 5, along with my elder brother who was 8. We came from a remote village in Assam, India. My brother had decided to run away from home, and I followed him. So they ran away from home in India in 1983. He says, we ended up on a train without knowing where we were going. Somehow we landed at Navadweep and ended up at Mayapur. We were so orphans. They weren't orphans. They were runaways. We were runaways. We didn't know how to go home. Devotees picked us up from the streets and put us in the Gurukula. So they got picked up off the streets by Hare Krishnas and just put in the Gurukula. Because they were just homeless kids running around. I guess one was 5, one was 8. 2 little kids. Devotees picked us up from the streets, put us in the Gurukula. He says, I stayed in the Gurukula as a student for around 14 years. Till he was 19. And then worked as ashram coordinator and director of the Bhaktivedanta Gurukula village in Mayapur for another 6 years. As a student, I spent most of my time living in the ashram of Bhaktividya Purna Swami, who at that time was known as Anirdesha Vapudas. When we first arrived in Mayapur, Bhaktividya Purna Swami was in charge of the Gurukula and decided that my brother should be at the Sudra ashram, where the children were basically workers. I got placed in the Brahmin ashram. We were not allowed to relate or communicate out of fear of Brahmins getting polluted. So this is what these people did in 1983 with these 2 little runaway kids in India. They just snatched them up off the street, and stuck them in their school in Mayapur, put them to work. He says, when my parents finally found us, it had been 2 years. By the time they reached Mayapur, I had become a fanatic brahmachari and totally indoctrinated at the age of 7. And he's still indoctrinated. He says, when they tried to take me home, I told them that they were not my parents and that my mother and father were Radha and Madhava. Teachers told them that now we belong to God, and without documents to prove that we were their children, my parents were sent back to Assam, heartbroken. So they basically just told the parents to get fucked. And the kids were like, we don't want to go home. And the temple was like, see, too bad. You go away. That's what these holy people did. That's what these holy people did. They snatched these kids off the street, stuck them in their temple, indoctrinated them in their school, turned them into friggin' these brainwashed kids, and then told the parents to go pound sand. We have your kids. Your kids are ours now. He says, so it goes on. I mean, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. I met a Gurukuli kid who is now grown up and is a high school teacher. He told me that his parents were Prabhupada initiates. His parents told him that Prabhupada was harsh and verbally abusive. I've heard that too. I've heard that too. But only from like 1 or 2 people that, I haven't heard that a lot, but I heard it from Yashoda, that's what I'm trying to say. I heard it from Yashoda Nandan Swami that Prabhupada would blow his top. So it says here, he goes on and he says, first-hand experience of sexual and physical abuse in Mayapur. Well, who would have known? Who could have guessed that was going to happen? And I mean, seriously, who could have thought that was going to happen? During my early years in Gurukula, I was particularly vulnerable because I couldn't defend myself and I had no parents to protect me. For the first 7 years, I was subjected to sustained and extreme physical and sexual abuse by teachers and older students. Can you believe this? He says, I was separated from my brother and I couldn't get his help because he himself was being abused. So they just snatch these kids. Tell me this ain't no fucking pedophile cult. They just snatch these kids up off the street, put them in their Gurukula, start abusing them, start molesting them. They're 5 and 8 years. He says, when I was a child in the Gurukula of Mayapur, I was sexually assaulted by a total of 8 people. I don't even want to read anymore of this. This is getting, he says, I was sexually abused several times by Gopavrinda Paul, also known as Swami Giri, who later took sannyas from Nrsimha Maharaj, Rajadish, a major Gurukuli, Mrityunjaya, another major Gurukuli, and XXX, a third major Gurukul, which I choose not to name. I was also sexually abused by the restaurant owner, chief disciple of Bhavananda, also by a pujari of Lord Nrsingadev, don't recall his name, Nandaram, a teacher, and Bhaktividya. So you go. Remember, let's go back to the beginning. He just ends it right there. He just ends the story right there. Well, we go back to the beginning where he says, my name is Veda. I'm a husband and a father. I live in USA and served as president of ISKCON Temple in Atlanta for 15 years. I am also a teacher of Krishna consciousness. So through this whole, through all of this, through all of this, being snatched off the street and stuck in this Gurukula and being indoctrinated and brainwashed and sexually abused and physically abused and worked at child labor, whatever he was doing. And he's abused. He's abused for how many years did he say he was abused? He says, I stayed in the Gurukula as a student for around 14 years. He says, during my early years in the Gurukula, I was particularly vulnerable. For the first 7 years, I was subjected to sustained and extreme physical and sexual abuse. 7 years. God damn it, 7 years of this shit. But what's more amazing is the guy never left. He's still in it. He went on to become a temple president, and now he teaches this bullshit to other people. The fuck is wrong with people? The fuck is wrong with people? This guy, Sridham, he says he knows all these other kids that were abused. His older brother was abused. They separated them. They were abusing both of them. He was sexually assaulted by a total of, he says, I was sexually assaulted by a total of 8 people. 8 different people. So go ahead and say that Dagmar is not telling the truth, and say that I'm bitter, or I'm this or that, or that my daughter is lying, or whoever is lying, everybody lying. This guy too? This guy lying too? Sridham lying? Sridham got no teeth. How could he be lying? What'd he do? Yank his teeth out himself and then blame the guru for doing it when he was 7 years old? I mean, come on. Every other day, somebody's coming out and saying, yeah, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. Where are these other 8 people? We know Bhakti Vidyapurna. Well, what happened to these other 7 people? Friggin' insanity of this cult. These people want to come in here and defend this? How do you defend this? How do you defend this shit? How do you defend snatching these 2 little kids up off the street? Can't defend themselves. That to me is the most sinister. We'll just stick these 2 little kids. But you can't go find some people to just preach to, sell them some books. You got to snatch up 2 little kids. You think you're doing them a favor by brainwashing them into your cult? They were better off on the street, fending for themselves, looking for food, doing whatever. Shit, that don't sound so great, but it was better than being in your goddamn cult, abusing them and working them and physically abusing them and sexually abusing them for 7 goddamn years. What the fuck? Am I the crazy one? Am I the am I the crazy one? Or does this sound too fucking unbelievable? Is this too it's is it me? I I've seen it being done, and if we ever spoke out, we'd be threatened or abused in mind. What happens in both male and female ashram? I know, I know, I know. And these people want to come in here and defend it and act like no. But no, there's a good side. What's the good side of fucking picking these 2 little runaway kids, 5 and 8 years old, and sticking them in your goddamn concentration camp? What's the good side of that? And then abusing them, physically and sexually abusing them. That's human trafficking. That's goddamn human trafficking. Kidnapping these kids off the street? These weren't your kids. I mean, it just blows me away. And the kid can't see. He doesn't realize what happened to him. He got kidnapped by a friggin' cult. Oh, well, I guess I'm a cult member. I got kidnapped when I was 5, sexually abused, physically abused by this guy, abused by that guy, abused by this kid, abused by that kid. I guess that's just how life is. You just end up being abused. Abused. I guess that's normal. No, dude, it's not normal. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, where's John? Where's John throwing jabs left and right? You know? I know. That's what I mean. They come in and they you don't know. You think they think, and then all of a sudden they say something out of left field, and you don't. And we're so used to the trolls that we're like very defensive. I think we're very touchy when it comes to people defending this shit. We're very touchy. I know I am. I'm like, I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? How do you defend this shit? How do you defend? Oh, well, at least we gave him a place to sleep. He had plenty places to sleep. Well, at least nothing. He was sexually abused, and he's brainwashed, and he's Stockholm syndrome, and he's still in it, and he's still teaching this crap, and he's still bringing people in. You fucked him up for life. You screwed him up. You turned him into a fucking virus, and now he's infecting everybody he knows. This is fucking sick. It's sick. It's sinister. It's evil. And this is just another story that just tells me how fucking evil this place is. How evil these people are. you think you know this guy. He said his name was Veda, Darth Veda. I don't mean to make fun of him. He's a victim. He's a perpetrator now. He's had plenty of opportunity to figure out what the fuck is going on. And he decides he's going to stay in there and he's going to corrupt other people and put other people's kids in danger. I mean, you can see what a dangerous situation it was for you. If you don't think other kids are in danger, god damn. I haven't seen Devotee say anything negative about Prabhupada. I learned about Prabhupada being a pedo on this channel and learned he was racist and woman hater on this channel. Yeah, and it's not like you just heard rumors. It's like I actually showed conversations, things in his books, videos, lectures, what people say, all kinds of stuff. It's not just me saying it. It's like it's not just me. It's real. If you listen to ISKCON, they make an excuse for everything. Everything's an excuse. Oh, I'm bitter as fuck. I can admit it. Can you believe what they did to these two little kids? Just snatched them up off the street, stuck them in there, and that's Darth Vader's worldview. His brain knows nothing else. Perhaps he might even be doing that same way. He could be, and that's the thing, is that he didn't have to turn out that way. They stuck him in there against his will. He didn't say, "Hey, can I go become a Hare Krishna?" No, they snatched him off the street. Said, "Here's two little runaway kids. Hey, you give you some prasadam. You want to come?" That's fucking disgusting. That's not a homeless shelter. That's not a homeless shelter where you just take homeless kids in. Is that what they were doing in 1983? Just taking homeless kids in, putting them in their school, abusing them, working them? You're not the only one, man. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. And I was in this shit. I was in it. I was in it while this shit was going on. My daughter. And I was handing out books. And I was chanting, jumping around, doing all that shit. Yeah, I don't see his posts either anymore. I mean, I don't know. Hey, is this Weird Planet? I think that's Weird Planet right there. Hey, you came back, man. Yes, hey, another troll. Another. um. Yeah, I don't see him. I haven't seen anything he said in a while. I haven't seen. It's kind of I know. It's so disgusting. And this guy's come out, and I don't know what the point of him coming out is when he says all this bad shit, and then he says, I went on to become I went on to become, the temple president of Atlanta for 15 years. I'm a husband and a father. I got kids. I have two kids. I have some kids. He was here earlier, I think. For all the trolls, you eventually leave the cult if you keep coming on. You're associated with non-believers. You will become one. It says so in your books. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're afraid. They're afraid because they know. Exactly. You're absolutely right. But they're curious. They want to know. They want to know. They want to know what we're doing. They want to know what we're saying. They want to know, but they don't want to. They don't want to. it's exactly what you're saying. It's so funny. Um, there's probably a variety of reasons why us ex-devotees left ISKCON. Definitely mistreatment might be one reason. Personally, I couldn't follow all the regular principles strictly. Yeah, well, trying to follow the regular principles is abuse, and being like that's abusive because you're being blackmailed into like you got to do this, otherwise you're committing an offense, or you're not making spiritual advancement, or you're nama aparad, and all of these things. That in itself is that's violence on your mind. That's violence on your mind. Every cult expert will tell you it's emotional blackmail. It's like being in an abusive relationship. Um, yeah, Aviator is our kamikaze troll crasher pilot. All hands on deck. Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah. He's exactly. He's so. I hope all the trolls are here now because I want to. I want to. I want to do. Uh, I want them to learn a little bit about chanting. So let's see. Mistreatment and human abuse. Everyone in their cult has suffered this 100%. You can't be in it without that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And everybody's different, so everybody deals with it differently. Some people don't recognize the abuse that they've been through, because some people have been in abusive relationships, and so they don't recognize the what's going on. They don't understand the dynamic, and some people recognize it, but that's like normal to them, like the kid, like, whatever. Everybody's different, is what I'm trying to say. Everybody's different. So it's everybody's abused. Everybody's suffered. It's just some people recognize it, some people don't. Some people more, some people less. Um, but absolutely, you can't be in it without the entrance cost and the exit cost. So that right there tells you a lot. I was slapped by a senior male devotee for eating chocolate. You heard that right. A huge man slapping me when I was a teenager. Yeah, it's the violence, the violence, the violence of these holy men. I mean, what's going on? I mean, seriously, man, what's going on? Daily humiliation rituals. Yeah, we're gonna get. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know. Were you guys spying on my? So first we're gonna do this about. First we're gonna do this about chanting, and this is a good one because this is from a cult expert, and she really doesn't know much about Hare Krishna. I don't think she knows much about Hare Krishna at all. So here you go.
With Daniela, we are reading the second book of Daniela, The Culting of America. This is about cult language. This is call and response, the power of group chanting. Call and response, the power of group chanting. Repetition and rhythm are very effective at building group identity. Leaders use call and response chants like verbal choreography. Think, God is good in churches. 4 more years at rallies, or no justice, no peace at protests.
Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada.
That back and forth rhythm pulls people in, amplifies the leader's power, and reinforces group unity. Science backs this up. Practiced around the world throughout human history, group chanting and singing lowers stress hormones, triggers oxytocin, the love or bonding hormone, and can induce mystical experiences. It also enhances social flow. Flow state, coined by psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi in 1975, is loosely defined as the optimal psychological state in which a person is completely absorbed in a task, excluding all other thoughts. Social flow involves interdependence with others to achieve this state, fostering a shared sense of purpose and enjoyment. Csikszentmihalyi described it as a state where the ego falls away, ideal for creativity, but not so much for critical thinking. Cult leaders exploit this effect. The trance-like rhythm of chanting lowers critical thinking, making people more open to suggestion and craving that euphoric feeling again. Dr. Yanya Lalich places chanting alongside prayer marathons, hypnosis, sleep deprivation, and guided imagery as coercion tactics, while Margaret Singer explains that forced hyperventilation from shouting can induce an altered state. In The Children of God, we had mandatory chants. An adult would walk in and yell, "It's a revolution!" And we had to throw 3 fingers in the air, Mockingjay style, and shout back, "For Jesus!" over and over again. When you add movement, the impact intensifies. NIH research shows that when people chant and move together, their brain waves literally sync up, a phenomenon called interpersonal synchrony. Social or group flow makes people feel like they're merging into a larger purpose, great for both cohesion and control. In the military, chanting cadences while running or marching does the same, reinforcing discipline.
And I remember in the beginning when I first started hanging out with these Hare Krishnas, and I really liked the philosophy. I like the learning about the mind and the senses and self control and these kind of these ideas, these kind of like kind of philosophical type of things that Prabhupada would talk about in his books, and some of the stories, like about when he would reference Shiva and things like that. That was interesting to me. And then these guys, the Sri Maya and these guys, would want to start chanting, or somebody would start chanting, and they'd want to start, ching ching, and start this, and they want everyone to. And I didn't like that. I didn't. For me, that was weird. It took me a long time. But eventually, over time, gradually, I got into chanting. That's just what happens. But it is the call and response, the Jai Prabhupada, even to the point where you see somebody, some senior devotee or somebody comes in, you got to drop down. You're supposed to pay your obeisance and say these prayers, as Vancha Kapas, Tarabhyas, Cha, whatever, and or whatever, and same thing same thing in the van. If we were in the van and going to Venice Beach or somewhere, and all of a sudden there was all this chanting going on in the van, and the call and response and the going back and forth, and to me it felt culty. I didn't like that. Now kirtan, I like that. I got into that in Vrindavan, jumping up and down, and that is a very hypnotic type of self-hypnosis, whatever, group control, bonding or whatever. I totally agree with her on that, absolutely. I absolutely agree with everything she has to say about that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy for anyone to be in ISKCON. It's yeah, I know. When I hear that, like, and a teenager and a young girl, not a woman. I mean, he shouldn't hit any woman, but a teenager, a young girl. Like what is going on? Yeah, okay, you're a weird planet. I think I got that now. M667, M67, weird planet. No one cares in Mayapur. Yeah, yeah. The that's why I say, like, Hare Krishna Cult is no different than the Taliban. It's no different than these extremists that don't want women to go to school. They don't want women to drive cars. They don't want women to vote. They don't want women to have a job, any other destiny. They want to marry their children, their girls off at 12 years old. It's the same stuff. The Hare Krishna and the Taliban and ISIS and these things is no different. It's no different. Yeah, I know. It's It's crazy. Where's my
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, chanting is definitely one of the most damaging parts of being a cult. It's like she gives the example. Chanting is a powerful thing. Like you think you go to a protest and they're chanting, right? No justice, no peace, no chanting, no justice, no peace, and it really gets the crowd going, and it goes to like a fever pitch, just like kirtan does, and or even at a sporting event when the team is going to like go, go Kings, go, Dodge, LA, Dodgers, Dodgers, and the whole crowd is doing it in unison, and you almost feel compelled to join in because just like the whole thing going. So you can see how it has a psychological effect on the brain, even in these in these type of situations, like at a sporting event. But you can see, like even at a sporting event, when they're getting fired up and they're chanting, they can really get going. They get going. They start fighting. They get violent. Things break out at sporting events, and people don't relate it to the chanting, but chanting can be a very emotional thing. And I agree. I think it's one of the most damaging thing about this cult. What is this? Yeah, I mean, you gotta do it. You gotta bow down. You gotta bow down. I know she's so good, man. She describes us all. She describes us all. I mean, she's really got it down. um, yeah, it's no different than like a drum circle. I mean, if you think about a drum circle, you get going. I remember at Venice Beach, a drum circle. You hear it from a far away. You kind of hear the boom, 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 and then the closer you get to it, you start hearing the dun, 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 dun. And then you get there, you watch for a while, you kind of get mesmerized. You get mesmerized by a drum circle, and it's fun, and it's like there's nothing wrong with it. But let me tell you, if you have a really fired up drum circle and somebody starts chanting and they're like, kill my landlord or something, it could turn into something. I'm not gonna lie. It could. Yeah, kirtan was hypnotic and peer pressure, group control, bonding. Yeah, I mean, they know what they're. That's what I'm saying. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. This cult. They've been working it for hundreds, if not thousand years. One on one. How to brainwash somebody to wash your copings and cook your good rice. And that's what that. I'm not joking. This cult, and all they do is embarrassing. I know, man. I was pretty much fully in ISKCON for about 6 years. I was uninitiated. It was my whole life during that time. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. The whole time you're struggling, you're doing good, and then you're like your sadhana kind of it gets boring, and then you get fired up, and you get just like anything else in life. That's why it's nothing special. It's nothing. It's nothing else. It's nothing special. It's crazy. 9,000 times lustier than Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma. I don't want to miss any trolls. Any trolls in here? I'm trying to get. So I want to move on to the next video because it's really good, but I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss a troll. Okay, good. No trolls. Well, they do. I mean, they do. They just don't advertise it. Believe me, we might laugh or something, but if they came to the temple and said, "Hey, man, we need all you kshatriyas to come," because like a Jim Jones type thing. And he said, "Hey, we need you guys to come down to the temple and defend it. We think the FBI is going to come in, and we or Sri Mukunda and all his Krishna watch people are going to come in and they're going to attack the temple. We need, hey, people be out there. Yeah, Ratnabhushna and Bhagavat or whatever his name is, and all those guys that got guns and think they're like Mr. Tough Guy. And they'd be all out there. They'd be all out there thinking that, hey, I got to defend Prabhupada's temple, man. This is Prabhupada's house. I got to defend Prabhupada's, or if somebody attacked the Rath Yatra carts down there, they, and I know what you're saying. It's not a military, but it'd be like a little militia. It'd be like a little militia. They come out, they beat the crap out of everybody. That's exactly what they do. Exactly. You think it's harmless. You think it's, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? But I'm telling you, once you start singing and dancing like that, and you're doing all this stuff, and you're in. If you're doing that, if you got your hands up in the air and you're dancing around, and you and you're bowing down, and if you're bowing down and putting your hands in the air, you're done. You might as well be done. You might as well be done. You might as well be done. Okay, I want to get to the next one, and this one you got it. It's about the degradation. I don't know how you knew I was going to show this. I guess you're spying on me.
Cults often use degradation ceremonies as part of how they break and control people. And when I found this term, I swear, I yelled out loud, right? Because I used to just describe it as all cults that I know of and have studied, like most cults, let's say, seem to have this process where you're just required to lay yourself open to the group and take whatever comes. My perfect example of degradation ceremonies, if you would like to watch one and understand what I'm talking about, if you haven't had this experience, is Project Runway Junior. This whole thing, and I think elimination reality shows where you put contestants in a house together, I think is perfect cult example, right? You take a bunch of kids who've probably never been surrounded by other kids who are obsessed with the same thing they're obsessed with, fashion, right? Put them in New York City, you have all these celebrities, huge amount of love bombing. Then you give them not enough sleep, time-pressed challenges where they have to work really, really hard for days in a row. And then they all stand there and wait for the ceremony, right? And out comes Alexa or whoever it is, and they call out certain names, right? They call out 6 names. Everyone else knows they're safe, and these 6 have to stand here. And they don't know if they're the 3 top or the 3 bottom, or 2 top or 2 bottom. So all of them are being degraded right now, even the ones that were.
So I can't help, I'm interrupting her, but I can't help but think about these guys that Bhakti Vikash has on his farm, who are down there, and it's just a bunch of degradation rituals and ceremonies. I mean, just following the 4 regulative principles is almost like a degradation ceremony or ritual, But I mean, they're living on this farm. They've got like probably no hot water. I'm sure they got like no hot water, And if they do, they probably got to heat it themselves. They got probably no indoor plumbing or anything. If it's anything like what I'm used to at a ISKCON farm type place, they're roughing it. And then they're waiting around. They got to do all these chores. Getting up early in the cold, whatever, washing their clothes by hand, hanging them out. It's not a fun retreat that they're doing. They think it is. They think they're in spiritual heaven. They're in transcendental bliss. And then the guru comes, and they got to get the flowers, and they got to do this whole thing for their guru when he comes, and he walks in, and they got to lay down in front of him and throw flowers at him and wash his feet, drink the water, call him guru, all this stuff that's pretty much a degradation ceremony. They got to do all that stuff. It's crazy, It's so. That's what I think of when she's talking about this Project Runway thing. It's almost what they're doing is almost like a Big Brother India, a Big Brother eco village, whatever. No plumbing zone, because they got to learn. They got to be austere. They got to learn to be austere. I mean, the one guy didn't even have a shirt. He's like wrapped up in his thing. He's just got a. It's crazy waking up at 4 a.m. It's just insanity. So let's get back here. She's got some more things to say.
Always turn out to be coercing and manipulating in the end. I wish we could get over the whole the jerk leader is a good leader thing. They're not. They're working on degradation. And degradation ceremonies obviously work to keep people committed and striving to be, some version of perfect. And we know that perfectionism is self-hatred and also part of white supremacy. Yeah, no bueno. Anyway, degradation ceremonies. If this term is helpful to you, understanding what you went through, as this comment said, I was literally just talking to my best friend who escaped the same cult I was kicked out of last year about the ritual of tearing down and building up that our former pastor would perform on us. See how she even describes it as a ritual. It is ritualized embarrassment in front of the crowd for the purpose of breaking you. Also for the purpose of warning the crowd, right? Degradation ceremonies warn the crowd that they don't want to be in that spot. And so they better, toe the line. I'm Daniela, scholar of cults, extreme.
So, like when Prabhupada would sauce these devotees down and tell them, well, you got hair, you're not my disciple, you got hair, don't question me, there is no why. Don't ask me why. How dare you ask me why? There's the door. You can go if you don't like it. That was a humiliation ritual because they either had to sit there and take it, or get up. There's the door. So that was like a ritual, but it also taught everybody else that you ask these stupid questions. That is what you're going to get. You're going to get the same thing. You ask me. Don't ask me no stupid questions. That's exactly what he was doing. And the other thing that she reminded me of is these istigosties that we would have. And I remember going to these istigosties, and it was like it felt like a Scientology auditing session, like where we had to go around and talk about things that we like. How I don't even remember now, but it made me feel so uncomfortable. Like, what do you want? Like, did you break any regulative principles this week, and how and why, or something, some weird thing like that. And I was like, kind of question is like, I'm not here. I'm not here to reveal my thoughts and inner doubts, or what if I was to say, well, yeah, I was thinking that maybe Prabhupada is not a pure devotee. What, I'm supposed to say that? I'm supposed to say maybe Prabhupada is not a pure devotee? I was thinking that. Maybe Prabhupada is not a pure devotee. Maybe these books are full of shit. Am I supposed to say that? And some of these guys were like, yeah, I just like Dagmar said the other day, this one devotee was like, yeah, I was masturbating this week, and I'm having some really disgusting thoughts in my head, and I'm sitting there going, hey man, this is too much information for me. I did not join. I didn't come here for this. I'm not This is not what we're doing here. I'm not doing this here. I'm not doing. What the fuck is this? And that bothered me. It bothered me a lot. I stopped going. I'm not going to your stupid little living room meeting with like 5 or 6 devotees, and the devotees like, no, this is what Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada wanted these istagosis so we could reveal our minds and we could talk about things and talk about how we're progressing in Krishna consciousness and how we can do this, how we can do that. I said, you're out of your mind. You got to be out of your mind. It's like Scientology is like, you want me to say something so you can use that against me for something. That's not normal shit. That's not normal. It's just not normal. And I felt like it was kind of like a degradation or humiliation type situation, like trying to like break me and or loyalty test or so, I don't know, some kind of friggin' weird. These people are friggin' weird. People are weird, man. Okay, let me move on. I want to get to. We did that. So now we got to get to this. Let's see, where is it? All right, we're gonna do. Let's do her first. Let's see. Let me get over here. Get over here. Okay, you ready, Mataji? Here we go. It says I left Christianity to become a Hindu Vaishnavi. So she became a Hindu. She became a white super Hindu Vaishnavi. Isn't that great? I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know. I didn't know that was an option. I mean, seriously, I didn't know that was an option. So let's see what she's got to say.
Here for
What happened?
those who are new on my channel, I was born and raised in Macedonia, but moved to Switzerland when I was 18. Why I moved to Switzerland is directly linked to me becoming a Hindu and later a Vaishnava. So growing up, I was very sensitive and very inquisitive child. I was constantly asking myself, why was I born? Why do I have to die? Why do I suffer? What is the meaning of life? This bothered me the most.
As a child, as a little tiny child, she couldn't get over these questions about life. Isn't that amazing? And I guess that's how you become a Hindu, is you have to be very inquisitive as a child. Become very inquisitive as a child. I know, man. It's like it's starting again. It's starting again, man. I gotta believe it.
There must be a meaning of my birth. But I never found the answers to these questions. No matter whom I asked, I was never satisfied. Also, very sensitive.
No, but the answer that if you chant these magic words, you'll go back to God. Or for her, she gotta marry a husband, and then he's got to go back to Godhead, and then she can take birth as a man, and then when she becomes a man in her next birth, then she can go back. She can fly back. She's gonna fly back to the cow planet, no less. The cow planet, and on the cow planet where there's all a bunch of cows, then she gets to get the body of a 12-year-old girl, and have sex with Krishna. That makes sense. She said, nothing else made sense about life. I just could not make sense. Heads or tails. I couldn't make heads or tails about life and what it means. But when I heard this story about flying to a planet of the cows and becoming a 12-year-old girl and having sex with God, I knew I'd found I knew I'd found the meaning of life. It all made sense to
In
me.
a sense, like I would literally see a dead sparrow, I would go into mode of depression. One time when I was 6, I saw injured sparrow on the road, and I took it home to my mom. She gave me an empty shoebox. I laid it with cotton and then with leaves, and I put it gently, the sparrow there. I fed him with
This Ramadan, while we
Sorry
gather
about that,
around our
folks.
tables, families in
breadcrumbs and with water, but unfortunately the sparrow died the next day, and really I was grieving. I organized.
When I was a little kid, you're not going to believe this. You're absolutely not going to believe this. When I was a little kid, my older brother, he took me to like this carnival. It was like one of those carnivals that comes into town, and they set up and where you throw the balloon, where you throw the balloons. He took me to one of these carnivals, and I was throwing like ping pong. You have to throw the ping pong ball, and the ping pong bounces around, and it lands in a little bowl. And if it lands in the bowl, because usually it doesn't, it bounces and ding, 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 and it goes. But if it lands in the bowl, you get a goldfish. And I won. I couldn't believe it. I won. I threw the ping pong ball. It went ping, 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 bonk, and it went right in the little bowl, which is amazing because it's barely bigger than the ping pong ball, barely fits. But anyway, it went in, and I won this little goldfish in a little bag. It was like a little bag of the goldfish, and I took it home. And I put it in some water, and I didn't know this, but you can't put it in like tap water or whatever. You can't, tap water kills it. I woke up the next day, thing was floating upside down in the bowl. It was dead, and I was like, oh my goodness, it is dead. The fish is dead. The carnival fish is dead. I don't think that made me become a Hare Krishna though. But I did have a fish that I won a goldfish and it died.
A funeral. Literally, I organized a funeral for that sparrow, and we digged a hole with my friends. We buried it inside, and we were crying. Later, when I turned around 13, I wrote my first poem, and it was about a tree. I was lamenting in that poem, why do people cut trees? So from being oversensitive about injured sparrows to questioning why people cut trees, slowly, gradually, I started questioning why are there slaughterhouses? Why are the animals being slaughtered for food? And I had a friend, actually me, myself, I was never into meat so much.
Actually, it was me. I'm the friend. I had a friend, but it was me. I'm the friend. No, let me. This is I can't. I don't know. This is more than I could take. Just asking those questions leads to Vaishnav. I guess I mean, who at 5 years old didn't question the meaning of life at 5? I mean, in between cartoons and eating an ice cream cone, I was contemplating these deep ideas about reincarnation and the soul and God, and it's one. I mean, I was 5 years old, and I was like, I had a sparrow die. I had a sparrow die. I didn't know what to do. It's like, oh man, I feel bad. She probably had a normal, nice life. I know she had a family. She had friends and a family. She had a normal brain that worked. She could figure things out. She could think for herself. I mean, they're so delusional. They think their lives are better because they join their cult. Wait until something bad happens to them. So I don't wait till something, you know, and wait till something bad happens, and the cult is like, sorry, wait till your kid gets his teeth knocked out by some angry guru, and they don't do anything about it, and you're like, hey, can I get some teeth for my kid? And they're like, sorry. Nah, no, we're not gonna do it. I'm sorry. I can't believe it. It's, it's crazy, man.
Much. When I was growing up, my mom told me one time when I was 3 or 4, they were planning to go on holidays to Croatia, and my father spent the whole morning cleaning the car. And before going for that long journey, he made me eat chicken soup, but I refused. I said, no, no, no. I was crying, but yes, eat, you must eat. It's a long journey. I ate the soup by force, and as soon as I entered in the car, I just vomited, and I spoiled all his hard work.
It's a sign. Everything's a sign, right? Everything's a sign. The sparrow dying. I had a funeral for the sparrow, and then I ate some chicken soup, and they made me eat chicken soup. And then I threw it. I mean, it's, it's crazy. Oh my God. She's an empath, but she knows the Hare Krishna cult doesn't have any answers. In fact, you will experience more suffering than you have ever experienced if you stay within the cult. It's like all these things in life, but what about, she's talking about sparrows dying and chickens. You don't eat chicken soup because of the chicken. But what about all these children that have been abused by these gurus? What about Darth Vader, who went through hell for 19 years or 17 years or whatever in Mayapur with these 8 different people molesting him? And Rupa Manjari and Narayana with all his wives and raping these women. And you have compassion for the sparrow, and you have compassion for the chicken and the soup, but you don't have any compassion for these kids. You don't have any compassion for these women in your movement. You don't have any compassion for any of these people. You just go on la-di-da, Hare Krishna, like it's no big deal. I don't understand. Who philosophized about the world, mother, nature, karma, animal suffering at 3 or 5 years old? Nobody. What a fucking joke. She's pretending and playing the holier than thou. Well, yeah, she has to make sense. She has to make sense of how did she become a Hare Krishna. I know. It's so funny. I read the story so many times. I know. It's the same story just told by different people. They all feel bad for the animals, but not the people. If you felt that bad about the animals and you feel that bad about the people, you wouldn't have joined this cult. You would have said, well, the way you treat these people is worse than the way they treat these animals. I mean, Jesus Christ, you guys are abusing these kids left and right with these gurus and all this stuff. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I know, it just doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. Sparrow diet, chicken noodle soup, beef burgers, pork sausage. Oh, the humanity. Oh, my God, I can't take it. It's too much. It's too much for me to take. I can't take it. Wait. Molestations and child abuse in Mayapur? Come on. Let's not go overboard, okay? I know. It's crazy. Crazy. They have. Well, yeah, but she's just pretending. Well, she's just because she was on the bodily platform, and she was just upset for the body of the sparrow. She wasn't a Hindu Vaishnavi. She wasn't a super Hindu yet.
Of cleaning the car. So then and there he said, I will never force this child to eat anything she doesn't like. Then when I was 15, we had a New Year celebration here nearby where I live with my school friends and neighbor kids. And that evening, one boy approached me and said, Mila, you know, I'm into India. I'm into meditation, hatha yoga, into Buddhism and vegetarian lifestyle. And believe it or not, as soon as he mentioned the word India, it was like a light bulb went on, like as if I was in a dark place until then, and then pew, the light bulb went on by the mention of the word India. And then and there, deep inside, I felt that this country has something to offer, has answers for my questions. So while he was explaining me everything,
It has no answers for your questions. I already explained how it's got no answers for your questions, because the answer about you just becoming a 12-year-old girl on the cow planet makes no sense. When you it makes no sense. It doesn't make any more sense than any other. Actually, it makes less sense than a lot of other philosophies. I mean, the Buddhist philosophy, or even, you know, let's say just going to heaven and being in God's up there, makes more sense than there's a cow planet, and you're going to go to this cow planet, become a 12-year-old girl, and have sex with God. I mean, that to me, I don't know how you jumped from Christianity to becoming a 12-year-old girl and having sex with God. Makes more sense. I just, I don't get it. You know, what he's. That's how they attract people, by acting pious and nonviolent. I know that's exactly it. It's all cosplay, because if people really knew what is in these books the way we do, if people really knew what was in these books, and what they believe and what they think, and Demon Head eating the moon and all this other stuff, people would. I mean, I'm seriously. If they had told me some of this stuff when I was first coming in contact with these devotees, if they had told me that Prabhupada had an 11-year-old wife, he was 22, and child marriage, you can have a 12-year-old wife and all this stuff, I would have looked at it a lot different than, you know, already being indoctrinated into it and learning that stuff 15, 16 years later. Meanwhile, I'm believing all their lies and all their bullshit. It would have been a whole different ballgame if that shit had been presented to me in the beginning. Yeah, right. Exactly. Many devotees hate dogs and cats, no love for animals either, and they're just vegetarian. I know. I remember. I remember Sri Maya. Sri Maya was, you know, he seemed like he was such a good devotee. You know, he knew so much, and he had prasad. He'd always have prasadam. He was always going to the temple. He was always like out chanting by himself, and like one man Harinam. But then he would always talk about animals, like, oh, it's a beast. That dog's a beast. Oh, it's a goddamn dog, and it's this. And he didn't like dogs around. He didn't like the cat. Yeah, and he always called him a beast. It's a beast. Prabhupada said they're beasts. Prabhupada didn't want animals around. He doesn't want to have animals. And he would always talk about that. Like, he would talk about it like that, about these. It's a dog is a beast, and it's this, and such disdain and hatred for dogs and cats, and it kind of got me, because I was like, this guy, he seems like such a cool guy. How can you hate dogs and cats? They're just animals. They're just, you know, I didn't get that, and it's really weird. She really took off on the magical thinking. I know she's. I don't. She needed answers to what exactly? I know. What answers did you get? That Krishna is a 16-year-old boy that plays a flute and steals little girls' clothes, makes them get out of the water naked, covering their pubic area, and showing their bodies to him. Those are the answers that you were looking for about the meaning of life and the meaning of loving God. And that God comes to kill the demons, and everybody's a demon if they're not chanting Hare Krishna, and blah, blah, blah. That's what you were looking. Is that really what you were looking for? When you were on your search to find yourself and find God and find meaning of life and everything. This is what you were expecting to find? 12 girls can be married at 12 years old to grown men. Women have small brains. These are the answers to the questions that you wanted to know. Women like to be raped. Black people are ugly, belong in the jungles, never should have been given freedom, never should have been given civil rights. Abraham Lincoln was, what he was doing. He freed these guys. You had them slaves and you freed them. What is wrong with him? This is what you're looking for? This is what you were looking for. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man. These people on their spiritual quest, and you're going to try and tell me that this nonsense is what you were looking for? The answers? I couldn't get any answers. I was looking for the answers. And then they told me that there's a demon head eating the moon. And I was like, ooh, that's the answer I was looking for. Some kind of wacky, weird, mythological nonsense. That's what I need. Tell me how the evil spirits enter the rice twice a month. So I can't eat rice because it's full of demon seed, demon spawn, and I'll have bad evil children if I eat rice that on 2 days a month. Tell me about that. Is that what you were looking for when you were looking for the meaning of life? That's what you were looking for? Come on. Yeah, foot fungus. That's what you were looking for. You were searching for the meaning of life, and then they told me hey, you know what the meaning? Hey, hey, the meaning of life. The meaning of life is drinking this guy's foot water. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Drink his foot water. And she's like, oh, now I understand the meaning of life. Now I understand the meaning of life. Gee, why didn't you tell me when I was 5 and the sparrow died and I had a funeral for the sparrow and then, whatever the fuck she was talking. Why didn't you tell me that back then? I was wasting my time. I was wasting my time with I could have had some good rice. I don't know what. Stupid. A demon in the good rice. I mean, yeah, if it's good rice, how can the demon get? You got demons in that good rice. Demons in everything. Demons eating the moon. Demons eating the rice. Demons, man. Watch out for those demons, man. You gotta watch out for those demons. Okay, so we did her. Let's do a little bit of this guy. Here's another one.
Hare Krishna. My name is Mitra Van Das. I'm from America, and I've been asked to speak a little bit how I came to Krishna consciousness. So, more basically, I come from a Christian background. My family is Christian. I come from the southern parts of the United States, which is predominantly a Christian area, Protestant Christian. And I wasn't so much into it growing up. I would go to church, but I wasn't so interested. And in my teenage years, I just sort of got disassociated from it. The philosophy of it didn't really make so much sense to me compared to, the worldview of science, etc., like that. So when I went to college, I started getting into different philosophies. I was interested in Buddhism specifically. I sort of had my own philosophy, but I based.
Here's another one. He went to college to learn something, and then he ends up joining a pedophile cult. That's not too smart. That's not too smart. I can't say I went to college. I didn't have that luxury, but you go to college and then you end up in a pedophile cult. That's not something to brag about. I mean, I know Harvard dumbass Goswami likes to brag about it. Hey, Snoggle. Hey, Rafal. Hey, great to see you popping in here. A little late, but I'm glad you guys are here, man. It's awesome. Yeah, let's say a prayer. Om Namo Hoodie Dom, whatever. El Mariachi. El Mariachi is here. It's so profound that foot water has the meaning of life. Yeah, isn't it? I mean, who would have thought that all you had to do is just drink some stinky ass foot water from some pure devotee, and that's your ticket back to God. I mean, hey, it's pretty cool, right? I mean, who saw that one coming? Who could have seen that? Who could have seen that coming? Oh man. Hey, no problem, man. I hope you get everything worked out. Absolutely, man. And Snoggle, yeah, welcome Snoggle. And so anyway, let's get back to this guy. Let's get back to this guy. Another one, man.
Start off Buddhism because some things in Buddhism it didn't make sense to me. I was into consciousness at the time specifically, and I was into the things like karma, reincarnation, liberation, nirvana. These sort of like ideas in Buddhism that sort of like interested with me and it clicked with me and it made sense to me. But what didn't make sense is it seemed to me that consciousness was like how to say it was like a sensual factor basically. It was like it didn't change. Whereas Buddhism says like it's temporary. It ceases to be. It's like it comes from void literally. So it didn't really, the full philosophy didn't really like click so much with me, although it had some pretty good elements. So I was in college at the time. I was studying chemistry, and the whole reason I studied chemistry was because I was more out of philosophy than anything. I was thinking, well, if I study chemistry, then the world is nothing but chemicals. If you boil it down to it, I was thinking like that. So anyway, I may as well study chemistry. So I was studying like that. And then, so simultaneously, I wasn't so much sure what to do with my life. I sort of went to college like that. My family paid for it. And, but really I was more interested in like the spiritual.
Wow. So, his family paid for his school, so he didn't give a fuck. His family paid for it. So, I'm sure they're pretty happy that, they wasted all that money. And then he ends up, on a farm in India milking a cow. For Bhakti Vikash Swami, joining a pedophile cult where they have 12-year-old wives. I guess it's the 12-year-old wife, but I mean, he's a brahmachari. He's dressed in orange, so he's not thinking about a 12-year-old wife yet, but he will. He will eventually.
Side of life, I guess you could say from the beginning. And my family was a little wealthy growing up, so I had, I had a pretty high standard of living. Compared, not like super rich, but I had a pretty high standard of living compared to like most people. So I didn't really, in terms of like, desire for like a big house or like something like that, I had those things and it didn't really make me happy. It didn't really bring like lasting satisfaction.
Wow. I bet his parents, I bet his parents are really proud. His parents were, it sounds like his parents were well-to-do. Father probably had a successful business, or he was up high in a company where he sounds like he had like a nice house. Probably had a nice car. He probably had he was able to go to college. They paid for that. They probably bought him a car. I'm sure it sounds like they probably bought him a brand new car, and he had everything he wanted. He he didn't grow up wanting, I didn't grow up like he did, but I had we had a small little house. My dad had a used car, and I didn't get a car till I was in high school, and it was a piece of shit. I had probably like an average kid's, growing up in LA. Maybe I was definitely lower than all my friends because I went to a nicer school, and all my friends were from a nicer neighborhood, so they have more money than me. They had, but I'm not complaining or anything. This guy sounds like he had it pretty nice, pretty well off. He had it pretty nice, and he ends up in the Hare Krishnas. It's like I'm sure his parents are pretty like. They're thinking like, you could have done anything. You could have done anything, dude. You could have become a lawyer, a doctor. We paid for you to go to college. You could have anything. You know, you could have made surfboards. You could have, you know, opened up whatever you wanted to do. His parents probably could have funded, could have funded any endeavor that he wanted. You know, he'd become a chiropractor, become an eye doctor. You know, probably if he wanted to be an artist and just paint, or you know, his parents probably would have, you know, financed him doing that. Just like, you know, hey, I want to be a professional skateboarder. I want to be a professional skier. He probably could have done anything. He had the whole world. Nah. He ends up here. He ends up here.
And there were like, how to say, core philosophical questions about like, why am I here? Why do I have to die?
Why are you there? Exactly, man. Why are you there? Why are you there?
Am I this? I could quite clearly understand I'm not this body, but I couldn't quite understand who I was. So anyway, I was interested in consciousness at the time. And I would read various things online, not so many books, but I would look online, research different philosophies online.
I was interested in consciousness because I realized that I'm conscious. So I'm not unconscious. So I was interested in consciousness because since I'm conscious, I figured I'd study that, figure out what that is.
Trying to piece some sort of like truth together to like make sense of everything. And one day I just happened to come across, somehow I came across the Wikipedia page of all things for the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. First, I came across the Wikipedia page for Krishna. I had no idea who Krishna was, actually. I had zero idea. Somehow or other, even though I was interested in like different Eastern philosophies like that.
Somehow or other, where have we all heard that, right? Like, where have we all heard somehow or other? He's a spoiled fucking brat. He's a spoiled fucking brat. Maybe his parents were happy to get rid of him. Maybe they cost him so much money. They finally said, yes, go to India and milk that fucking cow. Get the hell out of here. Oh my God, he keeps repeating the same garbage they taught him. They all do. We all did. They all do. It's all in the books. It's all in the books. So like, you don't even have to, it's all in the book. So it's all scripted for you. All you have to do is just put it together and sprinkle in your own, add your own ingredients, and you can make your own word salad. You add your own details, and you just use their template, and you add your details. Well, I was born in L.A. and yeah, my parents were Catholic. It's like a Mad Libs, I was born in blank, and my parents were blank, and then I studied blank, and I wasn't happy because blank, and then blank, and I was like, wow, blank, and then you just fill it in. You fill it in with I was born in L.A. My parents were Catholic. I was unhappy because my girlfriend left me, and then I got a book, and you just fill it in with your own details. It's just like a Hare Krishna Mad Libs, and that's what they're. And we can see it. We can see it. He can't see it. Okay, he's too brainwashed to realize I'm just saying the same shit that every fucker has ever said. It's no different. It's no different. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's not funny. It's sad. It's sad. The poor guy, I hope he realizes he's in the wrong path and he leaves as soon as possible. I know. Someone needs to tell him, hey, buddy, did you know there's two paths you can go by? And in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. I don't know if I'll get it, but maybe he could do it. He's on his way into becoming a loser. He's on his way to becoming a loser in the world war. He's on the way. He's going to reach that point of no return where he's going to be in his 40s. And then by the time he wakes up, he's gonna be like, I'm 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 almost 50. I mean, I'm not that young kid I was when I got out of college. You know, and not only that, but you know what I realized is I lost like I lost like 5 or 6 years of earning for my Social Security. I just lost it because I wasn't making any money and I wasn't paying in. I wasn't paying in to Social Security for like 5 years, from like 93 to like 98, somewhere around there. I wasn't paying into Social Security. So when you turn 65, or when you retire, they send you an itemized sheet of everything you've worked, every how much you've made every year that you worked. And I had a big hole. I had this big hole in my earnings. You know, it was like, you know, from like 77 to like 92. It was, you know, I was making all this money, and then 93 is like nothing until like 98, and then I started making money again. Because I went back to work. But when I first joined the Hare Krishnas, I was like, I was working at ITV for Prasadam, and then there was times when I wasn't working, I was on welfare, and I was like getting welfare for my daughter, and I was on an unemployment, so I wasn't paying into Social Security, and that fucked me up. It fucked me up. That's money that I'm not getting. That's money that I could have made, and that would have been a lot of money, because my average, what I was making averaging out, I would have had some money. This guy's going to be fucked up. Well, maybe he doesn't have to care because his family's got money, so he doesn't care about his retirement or what's going to happen when he's 65. If he's lucky, maybe, you know, who knows what's going to happen. But I know, sitting there in India milking a cow, he ain't paying into no retirement fund. He's got no 401k. He's got no pension. He's got no Social Security. You know, he's lucky he's an American citizen. He's got access to all that. But he joined this stupid cult, and he's like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. That dude, you should be thinking about that stuff. If he's in orange robes, he's too brainwashed to leave. It's rare for a male devotee in orange saffron robes to leave. Yeah, it is, but, you know, Raphael did. Raphael left. By the way, this year marks 30 years when Ghost Ananda Vikash visited my hometown and my parents on our European tour. Time flies. Wow, 30 years. 30 years. Yeah, this will be 30 years ago. I went to Vrindavan with Radha Kun and those guys. That's 30 years. That's 30. What a trip. He'll regret it when he leaves 30 or 40 years later. Absolutely, he's going to regret this. He has no idea. He has no idea. I want to see if anybody... The spiritual origin story. I know, it's so... It's like a mantra. It's like a mantra, man. I know. They can't explain it. They can't explain it. They can't explain how I got pulled into this. Hey, Ghana, they can't explain how they got pulled into this pedo cult. I just don't know how I ended up here. You know, he probably had some mental issues in the first place, having it but not wanting what he had. He wasn't trying to find love and get married. Had to do all this research online to escape his misery. Yeah, you know, something was going on. You know, sounds like he came from a good family. You know, he doesn't sound like he had a broken home or anything like that, or he's not admitting it. But he didn't say like, oh, I had problems at home and I joined the Hare Krishnas. But it sounds like he came from a good family, well-to-do family that provided for him and gave him everything he had. He was able to go to school, go to college. That's not everybody can do that in the U.S. So he was able to do that, and here he is, ends up milking a cow. Ends up milking a cow. What can you do? What can you do? So, should we hear a little bit more about this nonsense?
And I read quite a lot about them. Somehow I never touched anything with relating to, I guess you could say, Hinduism like that. So I never got into that sort of side of the philosophy. So anyway, I was reading about Krishna on this Wikipedia page. And then I go to this page about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then, on that page, there's a quote there by Srila Prabhupada that's on his album that he recorded in 1966. To paraphrase it, he says there that there are different levels of consciousness. There's sensual consciousness, mental consciousness, intellectual consciousness, and then there's the transcendental platform of consciousness. And the chanting of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it takes place by chanting it. You once transcend all the other levels of consciousness, and this chanting takes place on the transcendental level. Something like that. That quote was there, and that really interested me because I hadn't really heard of so much of an idea of different levels of consciousness. Well, I had some sort of experience like that, but it was very clear. So I knew what a mantra was. I was doing meditation at the time, sort of breath meditation like that. It was having some effect. I was looking for something because I could understand just by philosophy alone, it won't get you there. You have to have some sort of sadhana. We say now you have to practice something. So I read that on the Wikipedia page. I just started chanting Hare Krishna, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I could tell it worked. Compared to the sort of meditation I was doing before,
such nonsense. It's just such nonsense. But okay, I
chant the mantra meditation, the chanting of Hare Krishna. It was much more effective than whatever meditation I was doing before. Even just 5 minutes of chanting Hare Krishna, it was worth half an hour of the breath meditation I was doing before. So I could tell, this has some sort of, there's something here in this mantra. So from that.
No, absolutely, Rafael. Considering that he's speaking truth, often these mental clowns are just making up shit just to be more special. I think they embellish and they want to make it like I said, millions of births, and then you come in contact with a pure devotee, and that's amazing. You're so fortunate. You're so lucky. You're so knowledgeable. It's this is special. It's different. You're different than everybody. So in their minds, they're trying to figure, well, how did that happen? Well, my mom and dad are this, and then I did that, and I bounced around here, and then I went there, and then lo and behold, I was on Wikipedia. I mean, I don't know. The Wikipedia stuff sounds crazy. I don't know anything about that. It's 29 years since I left ISKCON. Something about that particular cult that stays with you even after you stop all practices. I agree with you. It's been 14 years for me. It's been 14 years that I've been gone, and I was in it for 20. And there's just something about it. There's a few things about it. It just, I can't shake it, and it's not something I need therapy over. This is great therapy alone. But there is just something about it. There's just something about it. There's something sinister about it. There's something I just don't like about it. There's something I want to speak out about. There's just something. And I can't really put my finger on it, but it has to do with how evil it is. It has to do with how harmful it is. It has to do with how dangerous it is for others and how traumatic it was for me. And really that's what it is. And there is, I don't chant, I don't read, I don't do anything devotional or anything even slightly devotional. I mean, not even a little bit devotional. And there's just something about ISKCON, there's something about Prabhupada and his books. There's just some kind of like an oily residue that no matter how you wipe it and clean it and disinfect it, all that, there's just a little bit left, and you keep trying to get rid of it, and there's just always some little bit there. I don't know. I don't know. Milking a cow is so enticing. I know, like. Rafael Swami, I had to share this one with you. When we were in UK, I invented a plastic tube to carry on Dunda on the plane. We end up taking different planes. Ghost sends me the Dunda. He sends the Dunda with you. Oh my goodness. Oh man. That man. So I got to tell you. So last night that was really funny when I went to show that video and it was gone. I went to show a video and it was gone. And I don't know what happened. And I went to look for it today and I couldn't find it. I don't know what happened. And I know it was funny, and we kind of thought that it was directly related to me, but I don't think it was. But it was funny. It was funny. It was funny. But here, this is the same thing, and I hope this works. I hope this works. This is the same. This is pretty much exactly what I wanted to show you last night. Let's see if it works.
That's like, because that's what Donnelly cut off his crown jewel, and I guess also gave him a funny haircut, and then Rukmini got a funny haircut. What's really actually the funniest thing in this story is that Balaram, as the older brother, is telling Krishna, "Come on, Krishna, he's our brother now. You can't do this. It's your wedding, or you just took away Rukmini." But then later in the Bhagavatam, when they're playing poker or gambling or some playing dice, and Rukmini cheats Balaram, he just takes out his club and bashes his brains out, and that just kills him. So he told Krishna, "Come on, you can't go." But then when he actually offended Balaram, he just, "Get out of here." Yes.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? He just took his thing and just bashed his brains out. He just bashed his brains out, because
the pastime of Matila, right?
Nitila.
So it's the same nuts. It's the same. It's the same cuckoo's nest. It's the same cuckoo's nest as Gorahari. It's the same. It's the same.
Matila. Arjuna dressed up as a sannyasi, and
Wasn't that Dwarka?
no,
And he's doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing that Gorahari does. He's just sitting there telling stories. He's just telling these stupid stories. It's no different than this. Although this is pretty disturbing, I have to admit. This is pretty disturbing.
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare.
This right here should be a public service announcement that says, "This is your brain on Krishna. This is why you shouldn't do Krishna. This is you end up like this. You end up like this. What are you talking about?"
Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
A girl in the middle.
Hare
A girl in the middle.
Krishna,
She's watching like, what the fuck are these
Krishna,
nuts
Hare
doing? Like,
Krishna,
why am I here?
Krishna,
Like, what?
Krishna,
This
Hare 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 Rama Hare
like,
Rama.
like,
Rama, Rama,
like, oh my
Hare Krishna,
God.
Hare
Like, am I one of these noodles? Noodles is looking like, what is going on with these
Krishna,
people? She's scratching her head going, I don't know if I
Hare
belong in
Krishna,
this
Hare
room.
Krishna,
This
Krishna
might be the
Krishna,
wrong
Hare
room for
Rama,
me.
Rama,
We got this guy up there,
Hare
Govinda.
Krishna,
He's
Hare Krishna,
I
Krishna
don't know what he's doing. He's
Krishna,
dancing
Krishna,
around.
Hare
And Lolita
Rama, Hare
Gunga,
Rama,
Hot Lips is crying her eyes out.
Rama, Rama, Hare
Janaki,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare
Janaki,
Rama,
she's in bliss.
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,
Stunning
Hare
Freddie.
Krishna,
I don't know. He looks
Krishna,
confused.
Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama,
Oh my God!
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
It is a
Krishna,
cuckoo's nest, a cuckoo's nest. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I agree, Weird Planet. The brainwash from this cult is just too much. Sometimes I feel I need to take birth again just to forget about this bad dream of being in this cult. Yeah, sometimes. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like it's still there's something about it that still bothers me. The fact that I was in it, the bullshit that I learned, the bullshit that I believed. It's just, and really, I think the only thing that really counteracts that residue is doing this and helping people. I think that's the only thing that really makes me feel good, and counteracts the bullshit is knowing that I can come on here and coming on here and talking and sharing and laughing and joking with you guys and being part of this and watching these videos and hoping these people wake up and hoping that trolls will come in here and more people like Liam and Ghana and Brandon will come in and share their stories, and Dagmar and Fake Human and everybody. That's what really is really meaningful for me right now. It really is. I can't express that enough. And pause. What does he even call these sessions? Krishna chanting freakout session. I know that's exactly what it is. But that's why I'm saying it's no different. It's no different than this guy. This guy, it's the same thing. Just that these people are a little bit more subdued. But it's really no different.
It's the story of Bahulashva and Shrudev in Krishna. But anyway, it's a similar.
He's sitting around, listening to this guy talk about telling these friggin' bedtime stories. Yeah, all these guys, they all look like they're just crazy, man. It's insanity. It's insanity. Where's my, what's coming?
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, Gorahari, he does 3 or 4 hours daily, which is disturbing. At least Harbor Swami, he just does like a regular Bhagavatam class, I guess. This is like a, kind of like what I do. He comes on, he talks, and he goes away. Gorahari, he seems to be on like all the time. He seems to be like, it's like he lives online, and he's just, and that's all he does. I mean, this is, every time I log in, every time I go check him out, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. It's like a hidden camera at the mental hospital. It's like a hidden camera. It's like a surveillance camera. I feel like I'm in security and I'm watching everybody's I feel like
Hare
I'm
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
security and
Krishna
I'm watching
Krishna, Hare
everybody's
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
room and
Rama
everybody's in
Rama,
their
Hare
room
Hare Krishna,
and I'm
Hare
watching
Krishna,
what's going
Krishna
on.
Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna
She's doing
Krishna,
both.
Hare Hare
She's
Rama, Hare
laughing and
Rama,
crying. She's doing
Rama
both.
Rama,
And now
Hare
she's
Hare
gonna
Hare
snot.
Krishna, Hare
Ah.
Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Yeah,
Hare
and
Krishna,
she
Hare Krishna Krishna
she
Krishna
left.
Krishna,
She
Hare Hare
left.
Hare
Let me
Krishna,
go
Hare Hare
back and see
Krishna
that. What
Krishna
happened to
Krishna, Hare Hare
her? She bounced out.
Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
He
Krishna,
mentioned me yesterday. Really? What did he say? I gotta hear this. What did he
Hare Krishna,
say?
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama.
Oh my goodness. What did he say? What did he say? That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, that's life. Life is ups and downs, this and that. You know, good times, bad times. I know I've had my share, whatever. You know what I mean? That's what it is. He mentioned me yesterday. What did he say? That's so funny. Oh, probably because I was talking shit. Because I was talking shit to somebody that was in here. Somebody was in here who's a Gorahari person, and I was talking shit about uh, Harvard dumbass Goswami, and then I said, yeah, and he's no different than Gorahari, that dumb fucking Gorahari dumbass, and yeah, something about Casey that lingers, even though I don't follow it anymore and could never play act like I did when I was in ISKCON. Yeah, there's just something so sinister about it. I'm telling you, something so sinister. Jen, it's a Halib's call of despair from her. She wants to leave, but poor lady is entangled like a fish of snooty tissue. You know, you're right, Rafal, and it's losing her identity. She has as long as she's in this group, she's Lalita Ganga. But as soon as she leaves this group, she's not Lalita Ganga anymore. She's back to being Charlotte, whatever. And that's a hard thing. I mean, that's a hard thing when you've been Lalita Ganga for 8 years and this guy's Guru Maharaj and you think you're on a path and you think you're doing that. And I believe you're right about this girl in the middle. I think she's ready. She's done too. She doesn't look like she's enjoying this. She she doesn't look like she's in any
Rama
continental
Rama, Hare
bliss
Hare
or
Krishna, Hare
transcendental
Krishna
bliss.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Hare
Hey,
Krishna,
she's
Hare
looking.
Krishna,
The girl in the
Krishna
looking
Krishna,
is
Hare
she's
Hare
like,
Hare Rama,
look at that look on her
Rama
face.
Rama,
Like,
Hare
what is
Hare
going on?
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama,
She's looking around like she's looking at me.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Oh, I gotta hear this. It's so funny. It's so funny. Yes, Gorahari said he and his people look nuts to Mike because it is like Mike is looking in a mirror. He used the analogy of a dog looking at itself in a mirror. That makes no sense. I'm going to read that again. He said he and his people look nuts to Mike because it is like Mike looking in a mirror. He used the analogy of a dog looking at itself in a mirror. That has to be like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I don't know. Somebody tell. I'm gonna ask for another opinion. Somebody else tell me what you think of what he said, and I'll accept whatever you say. Good grief, he's so stupid. Oh, man. I'm sure she has her own room in the mental facility. Yeah, come on. They don't look nuts to me. They look nuts to everybody. It's not me. Everybody wants to talk about Mike. Everybody wants to talk about Mike like Mike is the problem. No, I'm holding the mirror up to you, and you're seeing yourself in the mirror. That's what's happening. And you want to blame me for it. No, not at all. It's you. You look nuts to everybody, to every sane person on the planet. You guys look nuts. Even the girl in the middle thinks that you guys are nuts. The girl in the middle, Noodles thinks that you guys are out of your mind. It's not me. I have nothing to do with it. It's so funny.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitan.
She's gonna bounce out. She's gonna bounce out right now. It's the funniest thing ever. She's like,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Mike is right. She's like, Mike is absolutely right. Look, and she's looking. She's looking. She's gonna bounce right now.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Oh, Noodles is all in. It was her sister-in-law who left.
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare.
Oh, she bounced out. She bounced out. And Noodles bounced out. I'm not even gonna. You know what? You're like one of these people. You're like one of these people in this room. You're just as nutty as this person. You're just as nutty as this Lalita Ganga. You're just as nutty as Lalita Ganga. It's obvious that Lalita is half crying. She's planning how to leave. Fingers crossed. She can still enjoy her life. She's welcome to come in here, and we won't make fun of her. She can come in here and she can talk about how she realized that this is bullshit, and we won't make fun of her at all. We'll just say, hey man, we were pulling for you. We were like, yeah, come on, Lolita, you can do it. You can do it. You can come on over. I know. I do feel sad for I feel sad for these people. Absolutely, I feel sad for these people. Gora Hari thinks it's funny. He thinks it's funny. He's telling them. He's trying to tell them, yeah, Mike's making fun of you. Mike's laughing and joking, but it's really Mike that's the out of his mind. He's the one, because Mike's looking in a mirror, and when he sees us acting nuts, he really sees himself, whatever the fuck he's telling them. But you know what? Obviously, if he's got to bring me up, if he's got to bring me up and mention me, then obviously we're doing something right. We're doing something right. If he's got to mention me, because why would he bring me up? Gora Hari is a classic example of cheaters and the cheater. He is a classic example of a scumbag. And he's like Nurse Ratchet. He's like Nurse Ratchet. He's getting off on these people and their issues, and they're crying and giggling. He thinks he's doing this. He thinks he's doing this. He thinks he's this powerful guru. Look at me. Look what I can do. I sit here and I talk and I give a class. I give a class and I talk about Krishna, and I talk about Lord Chaitanya. I talk about the gopis, And I talk about the Goswamis, and I got people laughing and crying. I'm a powerful guy. I'm powerful. I'm Gora Hari. That's what he thinks. And I'm sitting here going, not just me, we're all sitting here going, look at this fucking nut. I'm not sitting there, I'm not debating him about a Chinchabeta Beta Tattva. I'm not debating him about Lord Chaitanya's movement. I'm not debating him about are the books 10 law books for 10,000 years. I'm not debating him whether Madhurya Ras is higher than Sakya Ras. I'm not debating him about. I don't give a fuck about all that. I'm laughing at you because you're a fucking cheater. You're a fucking scamming guru. That's what he can't handle. That's what I said before. They can't handle us laughing at him. Being offensive. Well, you're offensive, Prabhu. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck if I'm offensive. I'm not in your cult. I don't care. I ain't afraid of no Yamadutas. I ain't afraid of no ghost. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Oh man, Noodles, please leave. We're pulling for Noodles. We're pulling for we're pulling for Noodles, and we're pulling for the other one too, Hot Lips, because they're being abused. They're being abused. They're being abused. Look at this. Tell me this. You can't tell me this isn't manipulation and abuse.
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna
Look,
Hare
she's making
Krishna
advancement.
Krishna
She's
Krishna
snotting.
Hare Hare
You must be
Hare
making advancement.
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare
The guy,
Krishna,
yeah,
Hare
he's
Krishna,
he's
Krishna Krishna,
he's in a
Hare
silent
Krishna.
rave. He's having his own silent
Rama
rave going.
Rama Hare
He's
Hare
silent
Hare
rave
Krishna
man.
Hare Krishna
He's a silent rave
Krishna
man.
Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Maybe a
Hare
circus
Hare
man. Can you
Rama Hare Rama
believe? Can you believe
Rama
this guy
Rama
wants to
Hare Hare
say
Hare
I'm the
Krishna Hare
crazy one?
Krishna
He's he wants to say I'm the crazy one. I'm the nut. I'm the nut. Excuse me. He wants to say that I'm the nut. I'm the nutty one. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Excuse me. Gora Hari, nutty is shit. Nuts is shit. He is. He believes his own shit. He believes his own shit. Dusk within. Hey, how you doing, man? You came in late, but you're gonna get we're gonna do some Krishna book. I'm gonna talk about Krishna book. We're gonna do some Krishna book a little bit. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I just started watching him. Maybe when I started doing these, I found him when I started doing this. He's definitely taking advantage of some mentally unstable people. I agree with you. I totally agree with you, and I think it's disgusting. I think it's really disgusting. And if he cared about him, he'd tell him, you know what, you need some. You should maybe go see a therapist. Maybe you should go talk to somebody about your problems. I'm not saying don't chant. I'm just saying maybe you need some therapy. That's all. It's it. It's a cuckoo's nest. It is a cuckoo's nest. We got any trolls in here? I want to see if we got any trolls. I'm not trying to skip your things, but Noodles is married. Noodles is married to Yawning Man. Oh, I didn't know Noodles is married to Yawning Man. Yawning Man. Wait, Yawning Man's mother and sister just left, so Gorahari is praising the heck out of Yawning Man. Oh my goodness. Oh my, is that what we're missing right now? Are we missing that? Oh, that's too much. I agree with you. I agree with you. That's why people come in here and go, well, he's not ISKCON. Gorahari is one of the most disgusting offshoots from ISKCON I've ever seen. And they're all the same freaks, but Gorahari simply took it to the next level. Absolutely. I agree with you, man. All this crying, laughing, very disturbing to see. Yes, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. It's funny. Psychological captivity. Next level is snorting. He's gonna be snotting. She's snotting. Okay. Trolls speak now. Trolls speak now because we're gonna do some Krishna book. So all you trolls out there, I'm gonna read from the Veda base, and we're gonna read from Krishna book. I guess we should just start at the beginning. I don't know. But you know, it is triggering for some people, and it's triggering for me sometimes. So I can't read too much of this stuff. But first of all, let me just start off by saying it says Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a summary study of Srila Vyasadev's Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto. It was not written by Vyasadeva. Okay, it was not written by Vyasadeva. The Bhagavatam was written, like, what does it say here? The Bhagavatam was written approximately 500 to 1000 AD. So it was actually written after the New Testament. So it's younger than the New Testament. Okay, it's not. Let's take its oldest. If it was its oldest age, would be 500 AD. 500 AD to 1000 AD. So, and it wasn't written by Vyasadeva because Vyasadeva is not a real person. So let's just get that straight. And from what I understand, I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find where it was written. It was written by somebody named, I believe it was written by somebody named Bopadev, but I can't find that. I couldn't find that in anywhere. But I believe it was written by somebody named Bopadev in like somewhere around 800 AD. So right off the bat, we start off with this Vyasadev's Srimad Bhagavatam. It was not written by Vyasadeva. Okay. We got the dedication from Apple. We got the thing from George Harrison. Should we read that? Let's read that. From George Harrison. We read how he got suckered into doing this. We'll start with that. Yeah, some trolls are passive aggressive. They act like they're because they don't want to out themselves as Hare Krishnas, but they can't help themselves. You know, when I start ranting and raving, I guess. So here we go. He says, everybody is looking for Krishna. Some don't realize it. Some don't realize that they are, but they are. Krishna is God, the source of all that exists, the cause of all that is, was, or ever will be. God is unlimited. He has many names. Now, let me just stop right here. I'll stop right here. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think George Harrison wrote this. I don't think he wrote this. I think some devotee wrote it, and he just said okay, and he signed it, and he's like, okay, let's do it. I don't believe he wrote this. I think he okayed it. He says, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, Rama, all are Krishna, all are one. God is not abstract. He has both the impersonal and personal aspects to his personality, which is supreme, eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. I don't know who's capitalizing all this stuff, but well, yeah, well, he paid for the book, so he probably said, I want to put something in there because I'm paying for it. It was probably a lot of money back then. It was probably a lot of money back then. So, but I doubt if he actually wrote this. He says a single drop of water has the same qualities as an ocean of water. So has our consciousness the qualities of God consciousness. So there you go again. There you go with that. There you go with that. So therefore type thing. He says a single drop of water has the same qualities as an ocean of water. So has our consciousness the qualities of God's consciousness. Who says? Who says? Because this failed chemist says. Now what are you now? George Harrison's a super white Hindu now? Is that what you're trying to tell me? But through our identification and attachment with material energy, physical body, sense pleasures, material possessions, ego, etc., our true transcendental consciousness has been polluted, and like a dirty mirror, it is unable to reflect a pure image. With many lives, our association with the temporary has grown. This impermanent body, a bag of bones and flesh, is mistaken for our true self, and we have accepted this temporary condition to be final. So there you go. It's already in the dedication to the Krishna book, where George Harrison is already stating that this body is impermanent. It's temporary. Our lives are temporary. The body's impermanent. It's a bag of bones and flesh. It's not our true self. Blah, blah, blah. So there's no way George Harrison wrote it. Yeah, I don't think George Harrison wrote this. We just accept it. But I think some Hare Krishna wrote it, made it sound like I can't read this in George Harrison's voice because it doesn't sound like him. It just doesn't sound like him. It's not something he'd say. Yeah, he wrote a bunch of, yeah. I mean, he was definitely in, he was as into it as you could be without like joining. Like he wasn't gonna shave up and leave the Beatles and go be a Hare Krishna. He wasn't doing that. There's no way he was doing that. But he was like, I'll chant and I'll give you guys money and I'll go to your temple and I think you guys are cool and I'll hang out with you. And he made friends with them. He was friends with Shama Sundar and Mukunda and a couple others, but he wasn't shaving up and joining this thing. And but they wanted him around because he would make songs and he would give them money and do whatever. Harrison was probably high on LSD when donating for printing this book, and then doing even worse, giving away Bhaktivedanta Manor to this cult. Freaking Yellow Submarine. George was responsible for that. Yeah, he's responsible for that, and he's responsible for these Krishna books. He paid for these Krishna books, so George helped. He helped with his shit. He shouldn't have been doing it, but he did it. He helped. And so he says, he goes, let me finish this dedication. He says, through all ages, great saints have remained as living proof that this non-temporary permanent state of God consciousness can be revived in all living souls. Each soul is potentially divine. Now, where It says, through all ages, great saints have remained as living proof. Now, I don't buy that. I mean, we can say anything. You know, you have to show me who are these great saints. What, this list of imaginary people? You got a list of imaginary people. You want me to accept that as through all ages, great saints have remained living proof? You want me to believe that imaginary people is living proof? This is more nonsense. That's why I'm saying George didn't write this. This was written by an idiot. This was written by a Hare Krishna, brainwashed Hare Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, steady in the self, being freed from all material contamination, the yogi achieves the highest perfectional stage of happiness in touch with the supreme consciousness. Like George just, like he knew that quote, right? He knew that verse. He says, yoga, a scientific method for God self-realization. So what he's saying, that God realization is self-realization, so we are God, is basically what he's saying. Because he's got it, he says here, I mean, I don't know, I'm not trying to, that's what he says. Yoga, a scientific method for God, parentheses, self-realization, is the process by which we purify our consciousness, stop further pollution, and arrive at the state of perfection, full knowledge, full bliss. If there's a God, well, you say if there's a God. Before you just say Krishna was God. Now you're saying if there's a God. If there's a God, I want to see him. It's pointless to believe in something without proof. And Krishna consciousness and meditation are methods where you can actually obtain God perception. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. No, not at all. That's not true. You can actually see God and hear him, play with him. It might sound crazy, but he is actually there, actually with you. No, it is crazy, because now you sound like these people. Now you're starting to sound like these people, telling me that something that's not there is there, something that's not real is real, something that's not doing anything is doing something. That now you're walking into the crazy section. You're walking in the crazy area. Now you're in the crazy area. Yeah, he wasn't. Well, he was deep enough to give him like 10 grand to give him 10 grand to get this book going. He was into him enough. Like I said, he was into him enough. Like, he wasn't going to shave his head and join, but he was, he was into it. I mean, he was into it somewhat. He was into it somewhat. He says, there are many yogic paths here. Now he's back to his I'm a super Hindu. I'm a super white Hindu. There are many yogic paths, Raja, Jnana, Hatha, Kriya, Karma, Bhakti, which are all acclaimed by the masters of each method. Well, who are these masters? If you're going to make a statement like there are many yogic paths, Raja, Jnana, Hatha, Kriya, Karma, Bhakti, which are all acclaimed by the masters of each one. Well, who are these masters that you're saying are, like that? Don't play this super Hindu. I'm a super Hindu because I'm going to repeat what I'm just going to repeat. It's like these guys are no different than these kids that in 5th grade that are giving a book report, and they're just reading from a book report about the book. They don't know anything about it. They didn't even read the book. They're just reading the notes from the book and just like reading what it says about the book. It's no different. It's no different. He says, Swami Bhaktivedanta is, as his title says, a bhakti yoga following the path of devotion. How do you know? Because Because Shama Sundar and Mukunda told you? Did you research it to figure out who's this Bhaktivedanta? Did you know he had an 11-year-old wife when he was 22? Did you know that? Did you know he had an 11-year-old wife? I mean, how well do you know this Bhaktivedanta Swami? How do you know if he's following the path? How do you know? You know how much harm this guy did? You know how many devotees he made, that George Harrison made? You know how many people that bought this book and read this book because George Harrison said so? He says, I request that you take advantage of this book, Krishna, and enter into its understanding. I also request that you make an appointment to meet your God now through the self-liberating process of yoga and give peace a chance. George Harrison, Apple Court, 3 Savile Row, London, blah, blah, blah. So I have to say, I don't believe George Harrison wrote that. Maybe he wrote part of it or he proofread it or something, but it's probably the worst thing he's ever written. And I think it's probably the worst thing he's ever done was print these books. Give Prabhupada this money to print these books. You fucked up. Just like I fucked up. I fucked up and got on the van and handed out books, gave books. I gave book to my nephew. My nephew got into it. I feel horrible about that. George Harrison, he got a lot of people into it with his book, putting this dedication to this Krishna book in there. All this bullshit, all this super Hindu crap that he don't know about. He didn't know. He didn't know about all these yogic paths. Well, maybe he knew some stuff. He did play the sitar. I guess, you play the sitar, I guess you're somewhat spiritual. I don't know how that works, but playing the sitar doesn't make you a white Hindu either, so I don't know. But I don't give him credit. I blame him. I say he and his song about My Sweet Lord and printing these, helping Prabhupada print these books and writing this dedication in this Krishna book, it wasn't helping. It wasn't helping. Yeah, I know. He was like, he was like, I'm done. He's like, I'm done. See, they chewed him up, spit him out too. They chew everybody up and spit everybody out. Yeah, I know. He was caught. He didn't realize. But then at the end of his life, when he could have learned everything and said, fuck these people, he was still chanting and he was still in Vrindavan. He was still. Yeah, I mean, I mean, that's what I'm saying. He was chanting, and he was trying to be a super Hindu, and he wasn't in ISKCON, and I try to give him a break. But when I read this Krishna book and I see this thing in there, and I go, this is not helping, dude. You made a big mistake when you did this. You made a big mistake when you did this, and I'm sorry. And George, my favorite Beatle. I love George Harrison. I love his music, and it pains me. It pains me. He got conned. He got scammed, and he never should have done it. And I'm sorry he did. I know the main culprit, Mukunda. Yeah, and he's hiding out in New Zealand. Yeah, I know. And I know, man. And he's the one. He's the one. And it was planned. It was part of the whole thing. I know George couldn't follow anything. He was like an ATM. He was like an ATM for them. Yeah, he loved the peaceful talks with the Frogger Frogs. Yeah, I know. He got suckered into it like we all did, and that's what I say. Anybody can fall to this cult. Anybody. Boy George, Madonna, George Harrison, a lot of people get fucked up and get sucked into this shit. And hey, you can call me N. Hey, you're late. I'm ending, man. I'm ending it. I'm glad you're N again. It was hard to remember who you were. It's good to see you. Yeah, I think George liked a lot of stuff. I think George is a pretty cool dude. I think. Yeah, I think he liked the vibe, and he was just that kind of guy. I think he was just that kind of guy. He got mixed up with the wrong people. Like my mom says, don't get mixed up with the wrong people. He got mixed up with the wrong people. Yeah, and there's another thing. Harrison was in a position to speak out against ISKCON crimes in the mid-'90s. He was visiting. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, he went along with it. One day we'll do a whole show just about that. I'm gonna wrap this one up. It's gone pretty long, but that's gonna make for a good show, and we can talk about George and what happened to him. Like, what was up with him? And fake human, yes, absolutely, absolutely, man. The good rice. So that was our. I didn't even finish. Yeah, I did finish it. I went all the way through it. So that was our Krishna book for today. We did the dedication. Next time we'll continue with it, and we'll go through and we'll do the. For all you Hare Krishnas out there, I'm just going to keep going right through the Krishna book. We did the dedication, and the next one is the whatever the next one is. Just so you know. The preface. So we're gonna do the preface. Will be next. Shame on George Harrison. Yeah, shame on George Harrison. I think I believe he did know. I believe he knew some stuff. But I think he bought into the scam that it was gurus. And Prabhupada was the pure devotee, and it was just the gurus that are bad, and Kirtanananda is bad, and this guy is bad, and and all this stuff. And I believe that he went along. That's why he didn't make waves or anything like that. He's not involved. It's not like he was a guru or anything like that. He tried to keep his distance. He just wanted to chant. Go smoke some pot or smoke a cigarette and chant, drink some coffee. He didn't he didn't want anything. But he should have known. I'm sorry. He should have known. I can't. It's a little bill. So we're gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna continue with the Krishna book. So all you Hare Krishnas out there. I'm not done with Krishna book. All right, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna do this, and so I had a lot of fun today. Great therapy today. We need some more trolls in here. Maybe we're doing Krishna book now. Though more will come in, get deprogrammed. So everybody, I want to thank you so much. It's been so much fun with all of you, Fake Human and Ghana and Eliana and Travis and everybody and Rafal, and you can call me N and Prabhu Nuts. And everybody, I can't, Jenna Morton and Lehman, everybody, I can't name everybody, but I want to thank each and every one of you generally, all at once. And everybody, please please like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe. It's great. Please share my videos. And everybody, please have a great day, great night, great morning, great evening, great afternoon. Wherever you are, have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. And for all the Hare Krishnas that are watching, of course, again, like every time, this is me when I was a Hare Krishna. And thanks, everybody.
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.